Good evening. Welcome to Injustice Investigations. I am your host, Al Scott.
And I'm Toby O'Neill.
Maybe tomorrow night we'll get maybe tomorrow night. What's going on, nephew?
Not a thing, man. Just checking out these news stories, seeing all this madness going on.
You know what? It's just madness across the whole damn world. It seems like somebody just dropped something in the middle of the country, and they're going mad. Tonight, before we get started, we send our condolences out to the family of the U.S. service members who lost their lives today. The count was 12. About 10 minutes ago, it went up to 13. So they paid the ultimate price, and we love and appreciate the service of your country, and our condolences go out to their families. But I'm afraid it's only going to get worse before it gets better.
Most definitely, and a wild, bold statement right now was, you remember we talked about last time about the fact that the Bush administration sent them over there, and I don't know what the plan was, you know what I'm saying, but think about it. We've been through a couple of administrations since then, and those people have still been over there. They've been moving more people over there, but I don't know what they've done on the ground over there to really solidify, you know what I'm saying, what they were establishing. And look at it, like it's they had to abandon it. So I don't feel like they established much over there. And when you think about it in a nutshell, like we were saying, anybody that know those people know they've been at war amongst each other forever. That's never stopped. Exactly. So for the U.S. to feel like, okay, we're going to go over here and declare war on these people in their country, and then we're just going to leave a small number of troops over here to, maintain what we've, established over here. Like, to me, honestly, you could say them people were sacrificed. You can say them people were sacrificed because just like we say, them people not going to stop fighting. So as a people who declare war on a people like that, you have to either totally destroy them and totally, do away with them, or just like it happened, y'all just chased them off. Y'all killed a few and y'all thought it was over. And it seemed like they got comfortable.
And, what you first said, I agree with that. As long as they've been over there, there's nothing that you can show us that said it was a success.
Exactly. And as long as you stayed over there, just like I said, all them years through a couple of different administrations, you know what I'm saying? Like y'all were drawing troops out. Everybody was pulling troops out. You know what I'm saying? To where if I'm the enemy, I'm watching this and I'm getting emboldened because y'all getting more comfortable because y'all pulling troops out. Y'all feel like the threat is declining. It has to be because y'all study pulling troops out from over there. But y'all have all those U.S. citizens and y'all have all that stuff set up over there. And it just like I said, that was a tragedy like waiting to happen. And like I said, Biden did the best he could. Because, like I say, it could have been way worse. It could have been way worse.
Exactly. It could have, it could have been worse than what it is now. And, I watched his briefing earlier today, and he was pissed. He was upset, but I like when he said that they will pay a serious price. And he said, United States, we do not forgive and do not forget. And you can see the water settle in his eyes. And I'm sure he's catching hell from that because one or two Republicans today were saying he needs to resign.
And see, that's what I'm saying. Like that's how they brainwash the public because it's like it happened on your watch, but you had nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? That was put into play a long time ago. You had nothing to do with that. So like that's just an example of the politics. The people that don't want him in the office or feel like, then the Trump supporters or whatever, then they'll jump on this and just like I said, tell the public that, oh, this is his fault because it happened on his watch. But like I said, he had nothing to do with this. And if you look at, like I say, if you take into account the amount of time he's been in office and what he's had to deal with on the level of COVID in the country, think about this. Like, it's not his job. It's not his job to get intelligence and go through intelligence and figure out what the threat is. Somebody is in a position to do that. So as a president, it had to go through that information had to be gathered, and that information had to go to a chain of command to get to him in order for him to make a decision. And just like I said, by the time we know the information got to him, he made a decision. And just like I said, you can say what you want to say. At the end of the day, that decision was the best decision he could have made under the circumstances.
I totally agree with that. I do. And we have to remember who gave a certain date to have him up out of there. You know, we keep that in mind. So that's what Trump left. And so, Your Honor, that's but either way it goes, with what you just said, it's always going to be something because these are the Trump supporters.
Exactly. And just like I said, I'm gonna tell you like this: they understand that we go for the propaganda. The general public will bite into the propaganda in a minute. They understand that. They've been playing that political game with us forever, feeding us propaganda, you know what I'm saying, to make one person or another look bad. And just like I said, we so quick to, flip-flop and jump back and forth to the point where we'll buy into it. But that's just a case of what it is.
Exactly.
That's just a case of what it is. That guy, you know what I'm saying, as the president at this current point in time, he had nothing to do with that. That was a spur of the moment situation where he could have said, okay, y'all buckle down and fight and try to protect what we got and put more lives on the line, or hey, stop, immediately start getting out of there. Start getting all our people out of there. And just like I said, that I feel like I still say that was the best move he could have made.
I agree, Toby. You know, as you said the other night, he made an executive decision. You know,
exactly.
That's it. We're not in that room when they're sitting there, and he's getting briefed in real time on what's going on. So it goes back to what you said, what he was saying there.
Exactly. He's not on the ground. He's not on the ground over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got all kind of intelligence. You got all kind of people on the ground. We've moved over here and set up shop. We should have been, on top of the counter surveillance to make sure we knew what they were doing. And just like I said, obviously something slipped under the radar because they mounted a whole, attack. And now, just like I said, think about it. Is it happenstance that ISIS coming in the picture now? They've been their allies over there. Is it in a happenstance, or is it just by accident or luck that ISIS jumped in? No. I feel like this been planned for a long time, and on the intelligence end, somebody dropped the ball. But just like I said,
that's it.
Sure. But like we say though, man, like
dropped the ball.
He's the president, and just like I said, the worst thing about it was that that happened on his watch. You know what I'm saying? Those 12 soldiers, you know what I'm saying? They died on his watch. But just like I said, the blessing is it could have been way worse.
Exactly. So that's right now that grab that they think is a big deal, that people are dying because of him. I don't know why I'm not seeing you guys comment on the screen here tonight. So I had to go to the other channel to see them. What I did, so I can't see. There. James Hudson is in the house this evening. Good evening to you. Miss Watts, as always, she's here. Good evening. Tammy, always 100, is in the house. Good evening to you. Louise Rawl is on time tonight. Good, thank you. God's good on time. I think that's about it for now. I hope I didn't miss anybody's name. So I apologize. I couldn't see him early to the screen here and stuff. But let me ask you this, Toby. Neil Simon is speaking to you, Toby.
Oh, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing, everybody? Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Exactly.
And what we saying?
Briefly, let's talk briefly about Shreveport for a minute.
Okay.
Can you? Okay. Uh, with the somebody's out and somebody's in, right?
I don't think nobody in.
So
Did they announce who's in?
Yeah, they
That
have
they
that guy stepped. I forget his name. He's been there a while.
Oh,
Black
okay.
guy. I forget his
In-house.
name. But I do know. Yeah, he's been. Come on, that's it. He's been there for a while, and stuff.
In-house.
But I in-house, Now, tell me, because I called it somewhat late. Did Perkins, Chief Ben Raymond, play a major role in the decrease in violent crime in Shreveport?
That's I thought about that too, because like I went back and I looked it up. You know what I'm saying? And it's like in November of 2019, he was appointed as on a probationary term to the chief job. And 9 months later, he was appointed to a permanent position 9 months later. And like you were saying, Perkins was quoted as saying that he took the helm when the department leadership was in flux and went on to implement strategies that have afforded us the opportunity to experience a decrease in crime under his leadership. And I'm trying to figure out where was the decrease in crime in that span.
Well,
even until now, from then until now, you know what I'm saying? As from November 2019, when he went in as the interim, to now, like I haven't seen any major decrease in crime. I haven't
seen it either. So the only thing I can think of that probably makes sense if he is sure that there was a decrease in violent crime in street. The only way I see that making sense, there must be another Shreveport, Louisiana, that I don't know about.
I'm saying the same thing because, like I said, I read a few articles, and I'm gonna tell you something else. A couple of the city councilmen, which I know that the city councilmen have to approve most of the stuff that the mayor does. But like the craziest thing about this is like a couple of city council people have came out and said that they didn't even know that the man had been made the permanent chief. They still thought he was in the interim stage. They said that they were led to believe in the beginning that it was only going to be a probationary period for him, like a year, to assess what he's doing while he was in office, and then decide if they was going to give him the permanent leadership role. But like I said, I just started looking at, you know what I'm saying, the situation, and it's like, first they claimed they didn't even know that he had been to the permanent position, but then when it popped up, just like you said, we talked about it earlier, and then they immediately go to a press conference and say that he's stepping down, that the mayor asked him to step down. Like, just like I'll say this on the whole subject, just like we always say, that whole little click right there is the cause. Leadership is the cause for the city being in the situation it is. And I believe he was just a scapegoat. You know what I'm saying? I believe he was just a scapegoat because think about it. We looking at the mayor. We've been looking at the police department. You know what I'm saying? We've been looking at everything. And it's like the city council and the mayor, that's y'all job. That's y'all job. And just like I said, I don't know what the plan was, but like I looked at Councilwoman Lavette Fuller. Lavette Fuller was saying that she wanted to sit down with the chief. The council people wanted to sit down with the chief to go over the plans he had for doing his job. And I'm thinking he's already in office. Why is it that now, you know what I'm saying, like y'all want to go over a plan for him to do his job when he's already in office. Why wasn't, when he was made the interim chief, he should have had a plan in place then. Like if we looking for a chief, I would think that if we coming out of a bad chief who's dropped the ball, I would think that if you're looking for a new chief, or if you're even considering a new chief, he would have a plan in place that you feel strongly about.
Exactly. It's just like you're working in a department store and you need a new manager. And so one comes in, you give them that job. You give them that job without asking them about the store. What would be their vision for the store 10 or 15 years from now? So you wait until they've been in there about 12 months and say, oh, I forgot to ask you, what's your plan?
Exactly. So in that situation where the city council is trying to act like they didn't know who the sheriff was, and they don't have a plan from the sheriff, to say, or the person that's sitting in the office to say, okay, this is what he's going in there to do, then that goes back to the fact that we have ineffective leadership.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And with that being said, I honestly think they waited too damn long to replace him. You can give a person the benefit of the doubt, but an ample amount of time to do something for the city to get it right, so we can see a decrease, even if they come, and they'll give you that printout of the crime stats. And for instance, if when he took that seat, crime was up 12.2% in the city when he took office. So they'll come and tell you now, it's not just a little better, it's now at 9.1%. We can play with numbers all damn day long. That's one of the oldest it is to play the numbers game, or be in my favor. If I want you to think violent crime has decreased in the city, then we'll just play with numbers. But anyone with common sense know for a fact it hasn't. Maybe non-violent crime has had a decrease, but not violent crime.
But the thing about it is, just like I said, what type of leadership will we have to know we have a problem like that, and to put somebody in that position when there is not a plan in place? There's already not a plan that was discussed and put in place. Like that's like ass backwards. To just keep it real, excuse my French, but that's ass backwards to hire somebody and then say, oh, now we need you to get a plan together on how you're going to clean this up. Like, me, just like I said, ineffective leadership. Like if I was in a position to where I was, hiring a police chief for the city of Shreveport, like you would have to come and convince me that you are the man for a job. You would have to come and convince me that you have a plan, you know what I'm saying, that you're ready to implement. You would have to come to the table ready to, because this is just not an average job. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. We're in a real bad place right now. So not just anybody could be put in that position, because like you have a situation where people don't trust the police. People are not working with the police. You have all of that. So like if a plan should have at least been in place, well, this is what I want to do to, bridge the gap between the community and the police department. Something. And just like I said, for our city council people, the people who are in charge of making decisions for the city, to say this man ended up in office and we didn't even know he was in office, and he didn't have a plan. Now, we looking for a plan. Like, that just showed how ineffective the leadership is. Just like I said, Shreveport needs to clean house. Shreveport needs to clean house.
We are in desperate need of new leadership, because as we said last night, we have too many people in seats that they shouldn't be there. They shouldn't be there at all. We have to have somebody, that the city will benefit from.
I'm gonna tell you this. You remember we was talking yesterday. and I made the statement that if I was a city leader in Shreveport, I wouldn't even want to tell nobody. Think about the statements that those city councilmen are making right now. Like, we have a sheriff in place and we didn't even know he was the sheriff. Like, think about that. Like, we have a sheriff in place and we've been looking at him 9 months or whatever, while he's been out in office, and now we're asking him for a plan. Like,
And,
you know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Right. I mean, that's super stupid now, but if it was me, and now you want to come and ask me for a plan, I'm like, oh, I didn't know I needed a damn plan because I don't have one.
I got the job without one. I'm saying, like, at least y'all had a plan that y'all wanted to implement. Y'all wanted me to help y'all implement as the city council, as the mayor. If y'all didn't get a plan from me, I'm expecting you guys to have one. Y'all the leaders of the city.
And you know what? Right. And I've seen meetings, different cities and states, to where the citizens, if they don't want who you put in there, they're going to come to that meeting and they're going to raise hell. They're going to raise hell, So you're right. I need to know, what is your plan for the city? Whatever plan he had, it didn't work. So in my opinion, he did have a plan.
Anybody that sits in a political seat should have a plan. Just like I told you, okay. If you sit me down with the police department right now, if you sit me down with the chief, I have a plan in my head on how I think, you know what I'm saying, how we need to go about bettering our community. I have a plan on that, and I'm not a policeman, but I'm out here in the midst of the, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. So you know what I'm saying, I'm studying, I'm taking notes, I'm doing my research. But like I said, if that guy got in office without a plan, that's not his fault. That's not his fault. If he got put in a position without a plan, you know what I'm saying, like, we can all fault him, and just like I said, you can stick him up as the scapegoat for us to take our frustrations out on. But he was hired. He was hired by leadership. He was put in that position by leadership. And if he failed in his job, he failed before he even went in. And that's because I see it as leadership putting him in a position to fail. So if the leadership is the same and the leadership is putting people in positions to fail, we can't trust the leadership. So think about it. Even the new guy, what can we expect from the new guy? He under the same leadership. Exactly. What can we expect from the new guy? Now, if he do something miraculous, he'll probably save their jobs. If he got some miraculous plan, but we know they've been there long enough and they've been through a couple of different people and shit hasn't changed. So I don't see how, he's going to do nothing miraculous. But after a while, they'll use him as a scapegoat too and say he didn't do anything. But we still know that, y'all hiring people that don't even have plans. We'll still know that.
And
even see, after this guy goes.
Exactly. Right. I mean, Ben Raymond may have said it today and I missed it, but he did. Even new guy coming, giving us his plan. I need to know why Perkins chose this individual to, sit there. From him, why he picked it. Just don't say, here he is, and walk off stage, But it just keeps going back to the same spot, Toby. We need new lady of Shreveport. We do.
Okay, let me check this out. You said you wanted to hear from Perkins why he hired the man. We just heard Perkins praising the last guy in office who we haven't seen anything from. We just said Perkins, we praised him for leadership and afforded us a decrease in the crime rate and everything from the guy. And we know I don't feel like it's true, but that's what Perkins says. So if what Perkins says about the next guy, are you going to take that at face value?
That's an excellent point. I mean, it is. I mean, so I feel that. I do. You just praised this sucker that hadn't done a damn thing for the city.
Okay, so and now you hired another one. You know, they say you snuck the last guy in. You know what I'm saying? Now you done gave him. Yeah, but I'm saying like now we gonna trust you what you say about this guy. That's what I'm saying. Like we can keep playing the game and participating in the game, but we can't win. Like that's the whole point that we are trying to make as a people. Like we can't win. We can keep playing the game, and they can keep switching chairs and telling us it was this guy's fault, and telling us it was this guy's fault, and then switching him out with him and say he's, you know, this guy did so much for the city, and we don't know what the hell he did. Like they can keep on, you know, with the musical chairs and the you know the flam, you know, the forever. They can keep on with that forever, but we've been going through that. We've been going through that, and we ain't got nowhere forward. Yeah. Oh, yay, we got a new chief.
Exactly. You know, but when and a lot of people get upset when they hear me say this here, but you just gotta respect my belief in what I see. I don't see Perkins the way some people see him in the Shreveport. In Shreveport, I don't see him as our lifeline. I don't see him as a mayor because he sucks. He sucks at it. And when he announced that he was running for Senate, when we put that post out, some lady got on and said, "What the hell? He ain't done nothing as a damn mayor." Yeah. And he hasn't. You know, he's just. Huh?
But see, I'm gonna tell you though, like I don't know him personally, but just from my perspective, I've seen a few things since I've been back that went on that let me know that it's some stuff that he wants to do, or he at least act like he want to do. But the city council been handicapping him. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna tell you this, you know what I'm saying? And like I don't know the whole particulars of it, but think about this. And I spoke about this before. I read an article, I know a couple of them, to whereas they had a minority business group that was interested in coming to Shreveport and I think buying some riverfront land and, you know, putting a business down there, bringing you know, a new company to Shreveport. And he came out publicly because he was upset because he said he asked the city council members because they had to vote on him to meet with the people before he even met with the people, and they vetoed him meeting with the people. And that caught me off guard. Like, if we trying to grow Shreveport and we trying to bring business to Shreveport, why wouldn't you allow the mayor to meet with somebody who's interested in purchasing land, bringing jobs, you know, and that type of stuff? Why wouldn't you allow him? And like that caught me as, you know what I'm saying, like kind of shady. And then like after that happened, he came out publicly and stated that, hey, it's some racism going on. You know what I'm saying? This and that there in the city. And then the city councilman jumped out there like, oh, well, like they do. Oh, well, how can we be racist? We put him in office, or we supported him. And just like I told you, that's what happened. When we get up in the house and think we can, hey, man, they doing it, this and that third, then they going to tell us, oh, he a house nigga. He don't care about y'all. And it like, that's how the game played. They keep us bamboozled and keep us confused. But just like I said, I say this. I can't say he's what Shreveport needs, but as far as my opinion, he's done more. He's done more than a lot of others.
You talking about the one that's in there now?
Perkins. He's attempted to do more. Yeah, exactly.
You talking about the one that's in there now?
Yeah.
You talking about the one that's in there now? Let me take a sip of the coke. Let me take a sip.
I really believe that.
Okay, moving right along. I know we got 1, 2, 3, 4 stories we're gonna cover tonight, but we'll do something different if we can. Let's do R.Kelly first tonight, please. Let's just get Mr. Kelly out of the way.
Man, I'm boycotting that dude. I'm boycotting that dude. I ain't talking about that dude no more. I will say this though, on behalf of the whole R.Kelly situation. I thought about it and it stayed on my mind last night. And everybody that was involved, the parents, you know what I'm saying, all the limo drivers, everybody that was involved, that had a stake in it and knew what was going on and chose to play their position. I wish they could take all y'all and smear shit across y'all face and let y'all put it in y'all mouth and act like you like it. That's all I'm gonna say. And I'm because as a black man, and we pushing the new Black America. We put that's the platform I'm pushing. That's the movement I'm pushing. New Black America. And we don't, that dude there is not even worthy of, you know what I'm saying, to speak on. He's not even worthy to speak on. So I'm through with that subject. Yeah, well, but let's go.
Well,
let's go.
Yeah. I mean, let me say something.
Mm-hmm.
What if he beat every damn charge? You know about that?
I don't see it, but just like I said, it's a court. It's the court of law, so it's possible. It's possible, and that's the thing about it. And that's the thing about it. Just like I said, if we know who he is now, so if he beat it, you know what I'm saying? What we know who he is.
I want to play something. Yeah, I want to play something that they played today on Good Morning America. One of the R.Kelly accusers, and because they're not calling her name in court, we're going to do the same thing here. And it's not long. And just tell me what you think of it. Y'all listen to what we got. I hope I got the right one.
Yes, they were coerced and unable to leave. Yes. CBS this morning today, the federal trial of R.Kelly in New York enters its 7th day. The R&B star faces racketeering and other charges related to alleged illegal sexual activity with women and underage teenagers. Now, this week, a former girlfriend told the court that Kelly brainwashed her and others. We spoke to her back in 2019, and at the time, she did not consider herself a victim, and she defended R.Kelly. Now she says their relationship was abusive, is testifying anonymously as Jane. Drika Duncan has been following the trial. Drika, good morning to you.
Good morning, and not surprising to hear, right, that she changed her story because we heard that from the first witness as well. But in court, Jane described Kelly as controlling, saying he restricted her TV viewing and punished her if she acted outside of his rules. Because she is testifying anonymously as a victim, we have decided not to air the video of the interview she did with us for CBS this morning. You guys don't know the truth, you guys. I believe it's a facade that our parents are saying. This is all lies from money.
That is audio from the 2019 interview with CBS News. Are you happy? Where Jane now says she was not telling the truth. Kelly was at the interview, but off camera. Jane told jurors the disgraced singer would call to let her know he was in the room. At the time of the interview, Jane described a healthy relationship with Kelly, whose first name is Robert. She also did not consider herself a victim.
I'm happy doing what I'm doing. I haven't figured out what I want to do with my life, but I know where that time from. We know Robin still support us regardless.
Right. But now she says their relationship was abusive. She told the court she met and began having sex with him when she was in high school. And she testified that she was beaten during her 5-year relationship with Kelly. Similar allegations against the now 54-year-old go back many years, but gained worldwide attention after the 2019 documentary series Surviving R.Kelly. Either you're not getting food or you took a beating. Jane says Kelly told her the series was filled with lies and he didn't allow her to watch it. Federal prosecutors claim the R&B singer ran a criminal enterprise involving the sex trafficking of women and underage girls. Kelly has pleaded not guilty to all charges. Have you ever had sex with anyone under the age of 17? No. Never. No.
Kelly maintains he did nothing wrong. Told Gil King that in 2019, and he's obviously staying with that through his defense. He absolutely has to. He's looking at mandatory minimum sentences that are huge amounts of time.
Priya Sapori is an attorney with several years of experience in crimes against children.
You've heard from Jane, for example, establishing that, yes, they traveled across state lines. Yes, they were coerced and unable to leave. Kelly faces 10 years to life in prison if convicted on all counts in this case. He also has criminal cases pending in Illinois and Minnesota. Again, he denies all allegations against him. And someone that people have been wondering if we're going to hear from is the other woman that you've interviewed, Joycelyn Savage. Her parents have been in the courtroom, but it's unclear about where she is and sort of where she stands.
Yeah, it's very interesting to me to hear what Jane is now saying, because after that interview, her parents reached out and said that's not the daughter they raised. And they said, too, at that time she was abused and she was brainwashed. They said that back at the time, that their daughter was not telling the truth to me at the time. So it is interesting to hear her reverse her story, but I'm not so surprised. And also about the coughing, there was very loud coughing in the room, Eureka. But I didn't know R.Kelly was in the room. I was told he had left, so he was around a corner.
But he was there the whole time.
Yeah, I don't know what he sounds like when he coughs, but there was a very loud coughing. And to be honest with you, I thought it was a purpose. Like, why are they doing that? Right. Yeah, because it was around the corner. I did not know that was him. Clearly, they would know what that sounded like, but I did not know it was so loud when we were talking. And then, yeah, Eureka, thank you.
Okay, now, nephew, let me ask you this. In all fairness to R.Kelly, I can see why some people are confused or they get pissed. We have people changing their story often. So how do we know when they're telling the truth?
Man, just like I said, the thing about that is, just like I said, it's always gonna be some sensationalism. It's always gonna be some sensationalism because we're dealing with the media. The media is always gonna, you know what I'm saying, make it, try to make it worse than it is. But just like I said, on a basic level, you know what I'm saying, some of the stuff that was done, and just like I said, we can consider it all accusations. But just like I said, at the end of the day, that you would have to be a special kind of person to be able to take the stand and you know what I'm saying, like degrade yourself in front of, you know what I'm saying, the courtroom in order to destroy a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, and just like I said, I'm not saying people are not capable of doing it, because people are, but at the same time, like, to go that far as to basically, you know what I'm saying? Because like I can't think about the girl, and like, honestly, we as people, let's be realistic. The girl, like, we don't need to know the girl. I don't even want to know the girl who smeared the feces on her face, because I'm one of the people that would be guilty of saying, hey, that's the girl right there that says she smeared feces on her face and stuck it in her mouth. Like, for a person to come out and admit that and say that in court and have to, you know what I'm saying, deal with that. I know it's some long-term effects from that. I don't see why that lie, you would take a lie that far. I don't even see why you could, like, who would coerce you to take a lie that far? Or who would be able to tell you to take a lie that far? Or what would possess you to take a lie that far?
Right, but still, we can't believe them in both statements. So when do we believe? The first one or now? Which one do you believe? I mean, she's got two different stories. So how do we know when she's telling the truth?
Okay, if you were in bondage, when you were locked up, if I had to ask you about the correction officers while you was locked up in there with them, do you think your story would have been the same as if I would have asked you your opinion on those correction officers when you was outside of the prison and away from them?
Probably not. Probably not.
Okay. I'm just saying.
What? But here's the thing about that. This woman could have been protected then just as well as she can be protected now. It goes back to this. I don't know which one you're telling the truth on, A or B. And so to me, you're no longer a witness. I don't know if you're telling the truth now. I thought I knew, but now you said he did this, he did that. I mean, but even when R.Kelly first got locked up, there was her chance to say it then, but she didn't. And so now she said, so again, Toba, anybody can answer this. When do we believe this child? How do we know?
Okay, I'm gonna give you an example. The ladies we talked to the other day on the show, Did you see how that lady, you know what I'm saying, was able to admit that that man had her in a totally different brain space to the point where while she was there, she felt the way. And even when she left and got away from that, they were telling her, hey, you were in a cult, you were being abused. And like, it was hard for her to believe. That woman was an adult when she got in that situation. The women that we talked to the other day were adults when they got into that situation. These girls were kids. And just like I said, I don't know the mental of it, but think about it. I saw in the story where the girl, one of the girls that had been captured and had kept with the guy for a long time. And remember, they were saying that he was walking out in the streets with her and everything like that, and she never ran. And they were talking about some symptom where, like we said in the other situation with the second sister, where you fell in love with it. You know what I'm saying? To the point where we see a sister who somebody saying she's being abused, and she's running around telling people, no, I haven't been abused. And what we say, well, the common thing is, well, she liked it. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know the mind space. We don't know the mind space of those people when they in that situation. Like with Gayle King. Yeah, you could have felt like, just like the girl who was out in public with her captor and never spoke out and never screamed out and never ran off. Like, we can't say what kind of reach or what kind of mentality he had them in with the threats and everything, because think about this, I'm gonna factor this in, and then you answer the question, your own question that you gave me. Factor in the tapes that he had as evidence.
Okay.
Factor in the tapes that he had as evidence. If he had those tapes on you for evidence, do you think your story would have been different when you was around him compared to now that I'm away from him and I'm exposing him? Because when they said on Gayle King, I'm quite sure he had the tapes. He had all of the grading tapes, you know, and that might have been a reminder. Hey, I got tapes.
Okay,
so with that mentality, with that beating them down mentally and that mental control, plus I have evidence that I've collected on you to keep you under control.
Okay, but here's the thing with this lady here. If I'm the judge, I'm like, she's not. Y'all disregard everything she said from the beginning until what she's saying now, because I don't know if she's telling the truth now. I don't know if she's telling the truth now. What if somebody that want R. Kelly down so bad came and gave her 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand, go in there and change your statement? Couldn't that be honest? That can happen, right?
Yeah, that can happen. Just like he gave him money not to talk about some shit that didn't happen.
Here we go.
Yeah, it could have happened. Right. Yeah, it could have happened. I'm just saying. We discussed. We gotta factor that in, because allegedly this person gave people money to not talk about something that didn't happen, and you know what I'm saying, to sign the paper saying nothing happened that never happened. So I'm just saying, like, we can go there, like you said. Every person, you know what I'm saying, is suspect. Every witness is suspect. They are suspect. He is suspect. Everybody is suspect. But the thing about it is, I'm not on the jury. I already made my decision. So we having a conversation, but like it's nothing that's gonna sway me into understanding. I don't believe they lying. Like, just based on the allegations, you know what I'm saying? The allegations are too strong. And just like I said, somebody might be lying about some things.
Exactly.
Just like I said, we all as black people, when how long has that been since they went through that? How long have they been telling that story? When have you known a black person to start telling a story 10 years ago and that story is still the same 10 years later?
Okay, right. But you know, when you, from the legal perspective, that if you have nothing, no hardcore evidence, nothing, nothing that says that says this really did happen. Okay, so I have to use my best judgment, and now I got to figure out which statement is true that you gave to this court. I got to sit here and figure this shit out with no kind of hardcore evidence or no circumstantial evidence to figure this out. So in all fairness to R. Kelly, we don't know when to believe her. So her words to me, it don't mean jack. because somebody put some money in her bank account. We got to be fair. Look, she'll come back next week and say, "I was on that dope and stuff." No, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. Come on, nephew.
That is 100% true. If the prosecution ended their case today, that would be 100% true. But think about it. Wait until they finish their case. If they don't have nothing to back that up, then we can question it. But think about it. This is just the beginning of the case. Exactly. Just like I said. So these people's statements, like if they don't back this up with any evidence, then I'll be the first to say, even though I feel he's guilty, y'all can't convict him because y'all have to convince them people beyond a reasonable doubt. So I'll be the first to say if they don't. But think about it. If when the tapes come out, just like I said, if there's a tape of her smearing feces on her mouth, whatever she lied about, whatever else she lied about, she get a pass on that. To me, if you can prove that he had a smear, ain't no telling where that girl head at. Think about it. Like to us, we can say, "Oh, well, we don't." Man, I couldn't even imagine just sitting here talking to them women. I couldn't imagine being brainwashed by a freak. And the stories I would tell, the stories, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm dealing with a live psycho, a psycho perv. So just like I said, you are right in the fact that yes, as of right now, if we ended the case today, it would be all circumstantial, and I would say, hey, y'all ain't got enough to convict him. That's not enough.
That's it.
Yeah, that's not enough.
If he did it, and a lot of folks get off, it's not because that they really didn't do it. There was sometimes just not enough evidence. Exactly,
and that's why I say I'm all for due process of the law, regardless of what. Exactly. And just like I said, if they don't plead the case, I'll be the first one to say they shouldn't lock him up, regardless of what. And that don't mean I don't believe he did it. But just like I said, they have the power to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that he did it. And just like I said, we've listened to that. Think about it. That part of the prosecution case, that is like hearsay. You know what I'm saying? Like you corroborate that with a few people that was around, but the majority of that is hearsay. And just like I said, that is usually the beginning of the case. Just like this is now. We hearing the hearsay and the victim statements, you know what I'm saying? So we can get that in the jury's head. But I really believe it's finna be some evidence that come out that's gonna back up 99.9% of what them women saying. And just
I don't doubt that. I agree with that 1,000,000%. But here's what I'm saying.
I feel you. I feel you. You're right. You're right.
I don't want people on the stand lying about the man doing something that he didn't do, even if they said he just sat in some head and he did. I don't do that. If the evidence is there, then try him, and if the evidence is there to convict, then convict him. But prosecutors should just as well as they're trying to get a conviction, they need to work just as hard to make sure that they're convicting the right man on the right charges. So with that woman changing her story, we can't believe her. I can't.
I do because just like I said, you talked to her one time before when she was still in his custody, and you talked to her afterwards. Like I can imagine the differences in the stories then.
Nephew, I'm gonna read something somebody put up. They said it's Queen. She said she was scared he will make her eat shit. And
I'm saying, like, and just like I said, to be in the situation where you with him or you came here with him and he's in the room and you like, I couldn't imagine. Like, think about it. That's like after you done got one of them fire ass whooping from Eddie Mae, and somebody outside, a person get to ask you some questions. Did your mama do this or did your mama do that? And she, you ain't no telling what you would say, Unc. Come on. And like I said, I'm just saying I don't know the mental state. Like I agree with you. The inconsistencies in the statement, that's there. You know what I'm saying? That's there. But then, just like I said, when you have to admit that there was a certain amount of fear and terrorizing involved, then like I don't know. Like I don't know because
I believe that to the fullest. Let me tell you something my sister said when we were watching the R. Kelly interview with Gail.
Mm-hmm.
We have seen these women out in public. Okay, we know how they dress. It's not nothing real sexual, but the outfits they had on that day, you don't normally see them in something like that. So now watch this here. Kelly, this what you wear. This what you wear. We want you to look dignified and stuff, so they will believe them damn lies.
Well, just like I said, I've watched abused women show up with their husbands at the family reunion, show up at the family events without their husband, and he's at home kicking their dog ass, and you would never know it. They would never tell you. And then 10 years later, when you find out they finally separated, then they tell you all the horror stories, and you look back like, well, I remember y'all coming around. I remember you coming around, and you was acting like everything was good. Like I can't speak to the mental capacity for that, because personally, I've never been abused like that. I've never, you know what I'm saying? So I can't speak to the mental state.
So so the ladies that Gail interviewed, they was a women, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We know Kelly bodyguards there, and I'm sure Gail had her people there. And Kelly went, Kelly, damn that shit. Yeah, he doing this because they free. They can leave
but I'm saying, and just like I said, I'm gonna tell you, like I said, I gotta look it up because I don't want to misquote it. But there's an actual medical, you know what I'm saying, explanation for it. Because like I said, when I looked at the girl in the other situation, the same thing we said about the girl that fell in love with her abuser. Exactly. You know what I'm saying, or got comfortable with her abuse. There's a medical, you know what I'm saying, term for that. And just like I said, maybe they didn't realize, like the women said, we didn't realize what the hell was going on until we got away and other people opened our eyes because we were so, you know, brainwashed or whatever, you know what I'm saying, to the point. And just like I said, I'm not making an excuse. A lie is a lie. And just like I said, you know, I've said it before. Anybody that takes the stand and tells a lie, you know what I'm saying, to harm somebody, that person should face charges. So I'm not trying to clean it up. If they lying, if she's lying, then you know, hey, you just as bad off as he is. Exactly. You know what I'm saying in my book.
And so you just made me think about something else, because maybe they was thinking in their minds, R. Kelly's so bad, so powerful, he beat the
Think
first.
About it. Who is Gail? Who is Gail?
I'm going to keep living this nice life that I'm living in Trump Tower with R. Kelly because he beat the first one and he's going to beat this one. That could have been back too.
Who is Gail? Who is Gail to say Gail gonna save us? If I run away now and this man got a tape of me smearing shit on my face and putting shit in my mouth, how I'm gonna live that down?
Well, that's her dumb ass sitting up smearing.
I'm just saying though, and like at that point right there, it's done already. He got the tape. He had the tape, but you said he walked around in the tape with his back pocket. Do you think? I'm just saying. Do you think that's not on their mind when they sitting there with Gail? That this tape is in his pocket.
You're right. Look, that's an excellent point. But watch this here. If you tired of him making you smear shit on your face, you see that door right there with a knob on it, all these people in here, unless you on another night with shit on your face, get up, walk your ass out, and tell R. Kelly to kiss your ass. They had a way out. They had a way out. Come on. We look.
If that's now, like I said, you can say that. We can say that. But then I'm gonna tell you that if we open that can of worms and say they had a way out, then every female that was ever raped or molested damn near had a way out. If we're gonna go that route, think about it. No. I'm saying if you wasn't forcefully, you know what I'm saying, then you had a way out. And just like I said, like that's a tricky slope to go down right there, saying you had a way out, because like I said, that's only because it's been medically documented that, you know, a captor or a person that's abused can get to the point where they fall in love, you know what I'm saying, with their captor. Just like I said, I'm only taking this into consideration because it's medically proved. I've never been in a situation, you know what I'm saying, where I was beaten down and abused or did like that. So like I said, to try to say I'm going to try to speculate on how she was thinking or in that time, like I can't do that.
Tammy, I think Tammy just answered your question. It's called Stockholm syndrome.
Stockholm syndrome. That's what it is. Stockholm syndrome. That's exactly what it is. And just like I said, I don't know the depths of that. So to me, like I said, you know me, I don't speak on stuff that I really don't know about. So that I can't get into, because that would be getting into their mental state. And right. Just like I said, I don't.
Yeah, and that's the point. Yeah, that's a point to be considered. So we have to throw everything on the table before we just discredit everything. But I'm just thinking. I mean, that's your out, baby.
Oh no, that's fact. That's fact. Like I say, that's fact. The fact that, just like I said, she could be lying. All of them could be lying. And just like I said, I'm not going to say, you know what I'm saying, I believe, you know what I'm saying, them. It's just that, like I said, the history of dude.
Right. Exactly. Now, here's what she says. She says that R.Kelly made her have sex with his nephew while he sat there and watched them have sex. And then he told her, before it happened, he said, I have been grooming my nephew since he was young, like me. Mm-hmm. She didn't want to do it. He made her do it. She telling the truth?
I'm gonna say this, okay, and I'm likening it to this. What was my thought? I forgot my thought just that quick.
Jim Jones.
Okay, when Kanye West said the slaves chose to be slaves, he said that because they knew where freedom was. They knew where freedom was. Once they found out freedom was to the north, some people chose to run for freedom.
Exactly.
Do you remember Harriet Tubman said she had to would have had to kill some people to make them go to freedom? Like, think about that in that sense. Like, and like I said, I can't think of it. It's mental. It's mental. And like I said, it's not to say she's telling the truth or anything like that, but I still say the mental aspect of it, I can't factor that in to make, to form an opinion. Because think about it, she would have to have a whole mental evaluation. And you know me, before I form an opinion, I like to have info. Exactly. I like to have all the info, so I can't form an opinion. But I will say that's a possibility she is lying. It's a possibility that it's a few people in that mix that's all false. It's a possibility that it's a few people, in that mix that's all false. But just like I said, the history of it and the amount of people, and then the tapes. Just like I said, that's like I said, I use all that information to form my opinion. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, on her, I admit anybody can lie. So you know what I'm saying? Yes, there's always the possibility that it's one or two of them that are telling complete falsehoods. And I still believe that some of them had the ulterior motive of getting money. Don't get me wrong. I really believe that. But just like I said, women have the ulterior motive of getting money all the time. And if I'm going to be a tender weenie and allow them to come into my space and put me in a position where I have to give them money, I can't blame them. I can't blame them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, he put himself in that position because, regardless of how much money they wanted, you know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't have to record it, brother. You didn't have to record it.
So, and when he did that, he didn't know it, but he know now. He was turning state on his damn self.
Exactly. And that, like I said, that's what, like, when you say they lying, like, anyone, like, I think of the image of him pissing on that little girl.
Exactly.
And like, think about it. Like, okay, if you see that, then is it hard to believe he had us smear shit on her face?
Oh, no.
And that's where my logic coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's a possibility that she could be lying. But
we know for a fact he do some real gross shit. So something simple.
Thank you. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
right. But we need to make sure he did it to this one.
Exactly. And like I said, I'm not saying, you know what I'm saying, that all of them are telling the truth. Because I said, I'll be the first to admit that women play games when they come to men with money. They play them games, and I hate that with a passion. But just like I said again, like I said, Deshaun Watson, quarterback for the Houston Texans, he just had a slew of women come out and accuse him of some stuff. And just like I said, where y'all been? That y'all saying that happened years ago. Nobody never said, okay, but just like I said, that's circumstance. If they come with the tapes, that's a whole different ball game, huh? Like we can speculate. We can speculate. Yeah, they might be lying. Like I think a lot of them women lying. I really do. Right. But if you come with some tapes, if you come then that's a whole different ball game. That's a whole that's you have to factor that in. But until then,
right, you have to. But even with the tapes, this is me. I honestly think the statute of limitation on this issue is entirely too damn long, because by the time you decide to, well, I don't want nobody else to go through it, this is probably 10 or 15 years later. So back then, when you didn't say that, you didn't give a damn what girl was going through it. But today, nobody said don't do what I went through. See, I mean, it's always suspect to me. You know, it just should be so. That's just my view on that. If it happened, get there and get there. But when you talk about years and years later, I'm like, what's the motive? But you have to also admit, most of those girls did not go to the police. They went to a high-profile attorney, because it wasn't about convicting R.Kelly. It was about breaking R.Kelly.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you this though, as you know, what I'm saying, a person in that situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, are you controlled by your own, you know what I'm saying, decisions, or most of those people surrounded by their parents when they popped out? Because we don't know what the child wanted to do, but then like we got a good idea of what the parents wanted to do, and that's what was done in that situation. Think about it, like and like I said, I don't blame them, because I know a few of them went to the police and they was, you know what I'm saying, they didn't take them serious. But the ones I seen that went toward the lawyer and the money, it was parents that stepped up, and I'm assuming that it was parents that steered you in the money direction rather than in the police direction, because they can't benefit if you just take them down. Now I don't know. Maybe some of those girls decided to go to the lawyer. I don't know, but I know in the context of it, I saw early on when it was going on, you didn't hear from the parents, and then when everything started blowing up, then the parents were live and present.
Okay, well,
all the times when they was.
Let me ask you this: does it make a person seem guilty if they've hired an attorney and now they're asking for money and they won't say a damn thing? I just don't know how money will fix my mental issue from dealing with you.
That's you got to think about it. We dealing with niggas. What move niggas?
I said,
like,
things in
like I'm just saying, like we already know they sold their daughter. So if you figured out you could sell her again, would you not take, you know, the opportunity to sell her again through the courts and get some money from them? That was the whole point from the beginning. So just like I said, when think about it, it was all about money from the beginning with them. You know what I'm saying? That's why they was able to cohabitate with them and travel all around like that, and mom and daddy didn't say nothing. I'm quite sure it was some checks coming home.
And I was looking at that piece today which we talked about yesterday about how the mother was in on it.
Exactly. And think about it. Look, now you saw that. Now, do you feel like it was no money exchanging hands?
I know damn
but
well.
Then, okay, so when the money stopped exchanging hands and mama get involved, now because you messing with mama money, the girl probably wanted to still be there because she might have still been in love. But then, just like I said, you messing with mama money. That's why mama gave her to you in the first place. So now that you messing with mama money, mama's gonna get her out of your curl because you're not doing what you said you was gonna do. Or when you kick her out and send her home, do you think mama gonna tell her now that the bread is the bread line is cut off? Do you think mama want to go to the police, or do you think mama want to get some more bread?
Damn the police.
I'm just saying. I'm
right,
like,
exactly.
like we gotta, it is what it is. But just like I said, at the end of the day, just like I said, we would have to say that these girls haven't been abused in order to, you know what I'm saying, not You know what I'm saying? And just like I said, we know they've been played from both ends, huh? So
Exactly.
it don't surprise me that when you get back in your parents' care and the money come out, y'all go to the lawyer. That don't surprise me.
Exactly.
Because that just proved what I said from the start. Y'all was selling y'all daughters. Y'all knew what y'all was doing. And when the money train got cut off, you know, then y'all, okay, well, now we're gonna go to the courts. Think about it, like you said. What was the lady? Now the lady could have been saying, well, send me a picture of you and R.Kelly together so I can show my friends, girl, look, she with R.Kelly. That could have been the reason. Or it could have been, hey, that nigga messing with you underage, get me some pictures. Cause that nigga gonna pay you, or I'm gonna put his ass in jail. That could have been it. And just like I said, when he stopped paying, we ain't thinking about going to no police.
So the
not
girls
niggas
flipped on both ends.
That's it. Think about it.
I agree.
Look at think about it. I'm saying this. Okay, if my daughter went to an R.Kelly concert and she could sing, and I get and he give her the number. Like if I get the number, why would I text him acting like I'm hurt? That's what the mama did. Exactly. Why would I text her like my daughter is underage? I'm a parent. I'm gonna talk to R.Kelly about her career. Hey, my daughter sings. You know my daughter did. Like, why would you on there? You like a little girl. You on there like acting like you the little girl. Texting him and I sing and all this. And then when he say, hey, come to the hotel to meet me. I want to. You sitting up there by yourself. You sitting up there by yourself. Come on.
And don't act like you give a damn now about your child.
I'm just saying. And think about it. Just like I said, when the girl said she was in the hotel room with him, underage, she had to call the police, asked her to call her mama to do a wellness check and let her know you know where you at. Mama said, "Oh, do you know your daughter's at the hotel with R.Kelly?" I don't know what the question was when they asked Mama, but they said Mama said she was okay with it. So they left with her with him. Like, come on, huh? Like, come on. And just like I said, was it her that said, Mama, come on, let's go to the lawyer and get the money? Or was it her to say, Mama, that man did something to me? Oh, yeah, hell yeah, we finna get a lawyer and we finna.
And you know what? That's a great point. But later on in life, it might be fun and wonderful. Now you got money, you got, expensive things and stuff. But if the child, whether they're still in childhood or get to adulthood, they sit down somewhere and they just analyze where they've been and what they've been through. Well, they will come to the conclusion that mom and dad didn't give a fuck about me because they pimped me out like I was a hoe.
That's like I said, I understand that because that's been going on forever. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Just like I said, it's just never been that out in the open like that. Exactly. But like I said, it's been going on in our community forever. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? The girls, the women, right. older women, older bad built women. You know what I'm saying? The little daughter, look at my baby, she gonna be fine. Look at her. She gonna be a heartbreaker. She gonna be driving the men crazy. Like, think about it. Like, look, like they groom their daughters to pick up where they left off. When they lose it, they hoping their daughter. I see people right now. You know what I'm saying? Look at my fine daughter. This and that there. You know what I'm saying? And daughters posing it. Like, you, what are you doing?
And then you know what?
I'm just saying, if you promoting her, what are you promoting her for?
That's what they're doing. And
what are you promoting her for?
That kills me is when they tell the daughter to shake your money maker.
I'm just saying, like, it's been that way.
Yeah,
it's been that way.
You're right, it's been that way, but that's a serious issue because
exactly
you're putting her in the mindset where, damn a brain, use this right here and you'll be fine in life.
90% of the females I know have been taught that if he can't do nothing for you, you don't need to be messing with him.
That's it.
And just like I said, I'm quite sure some of the women on this, you know what I'm saying, chat right now might have been taught or might have, heard or might feel the same way. Exactly. And just like I said, that's instilled in them. So just like I said, when you meet R.Kelly, that's money, that's fame, that's all of that for the girls. You know what I'm saying? Let alone for the parents. And just like I said, a parent had to have enough heart to say no. You know what I'm saying? That shit not right. And nobody said it. And just like I said, to run to the lawyers when he get caught or when they come out, like that like I said, what is that? Like, he should have locked up every parent. It should have locked up every parent.
I've been preaching that from day one. All parents should be the first to go on trial. But with all that we said tonight, it still doesn't make it right for R.Kelly to do some of the things that he has been accused of doing, whether they were children or adults. Some of them consented with that sex, but they did not consent with all that extra curriculum shit, with taking a fly swatter and patting you on your ass and putting flashlights up here and stuff. They didn't agree to that. But because of who he is, they did it.
Did you realize that you not remember that woman sitting over here in tears and expressing us to how this man of God grabbed her, snatched her by her hair, snatched her up out of, you know what I'm saying, and poured wine in her face? Like, that was a grown woman. And you see how the dynamic, she explained the dynamic and how she felt to where she even looked at her husband and he just looked at her. So she felt like, you know, I just have to, you know, take, like, those girls' parents. Do you think those girls' parents was not pressuring? Do you think they weren't pressuring?
Oh, I know they were.
Okay, and just like I said, from the parents to him, like I said yesterday, nobody did them girls any justice, man. Nobody, you know what I'm saying, did them, you know what I'm saying? Nobody helped them. Nobody helped them. Just even when they got back home, mom probably took them to the lawyer before she took them to counseling. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was focused on helping them. So just like I said, in that mental, to the point where we don't know what, but who's to say them girl, that girl don't already realize, just like the girl said, think about how the girl feel when he telling her, your mama sold you for a couple of bricks, like some kilos of dope. That's the shit that happened when I was young. Kids were sold for dope and shit when I was young. Think about the mental effect that might have had on that girl. We don't know how the hell that girl mind is. We don't know how to, you know, the type of stuff. We just hear what we hear. We don't know what was done or how it was done or how you know that affected them.
Exactly. And if they don't seek treatment for it, a lot of times, you know, they'll go from relationship because there's something there that's a blockage, and it goes back to what has been done to
and on the lying tip. Now that I think about it, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody mamas and daddies done told them to lie and say some extra shit. I just wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
I agree.
I wouldn't be surprised. But from a victim standpoint, that's the one thing I'm not gonna do until I know. Just like we talked about before, if somebody comes to me, if a woman comes to me and tells me that she's been sexually abused, I'm gonna believe it in the beginning and follow through. Now, once she show me she lying, I'll be the first one to bag up and say you was lying. But when you tell me that, I'm taking that at face value, because I would rather be the guy that got deceived and believe you when you was lying than to be the guy who didn't listen to you when you came to me with it. You know what I'm saying? So, like, in that sense right there, like I said, I until one of them lying, until one of them is proven to be lying, you know what I'm saying? Like, with the stuff I know, I'm going to support him. I'm going to support him. With the stuff I know that he done did, I'm going to support him.
Right. The one thing, if I was a federal prosecutor, there'd be one thing that I wouldn't do. I don't care how bad I want to lock Kelly up. There would be one thing that I would not do.
No immunity.
I'm not immunity. Everybody.
Right. Exactly.
Sit your ass on their witness stand because you in on it. There's no deals. We're not giving you nothing. You sit in that chair, and what the end results will be, it will be.
And I'm bringing the mama in. I would have questioned her too. I would have questioned the mom and dad. Every mom and dad that was involved, I would have came in and questioned. Exactly. I would have brought them in and questioned them myself to decide if I wanted to press charges.
And see, that's another thing that what irks me. I'm sure it irks a lot of his true fans and stuff, that there's really nobody being prosecuted but him. So there's nobody else that we can put there, because they keep saying he didn't do it by himself. We know that. So, but you everybody fucking deal.
Then nobody else make no tape. Nobody else made a tape. No, like I'm saying, nobody else, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna tell you, like I read on, and like I said, I be reading different stuff. I read that somebody had a shirt with semen on it from when they were 16 years old. Like, I don't know. Like I say, that evidence I've been reading. I'm waiting on the evidence because that's what. But like I said, nobody else made no tape. I ain't see nobody on no tape. You know what I'm saying? And nobody else hollering, "Oh, Dan," or "Hey, Billy." Nah, this shit Rob. Say Rob. Like ain't nobody else made no tape. Yeah. So like you know, I'm quite sure Mama didn't make no tape coaching her girl. Here, put this dress on before you go to the hotel. Put this dress on. See, that show your butt. That make you look your butt sitting out right. Like we probably know what went on, but didn't nobody make no tape. As evidence. Yeah. So like what Mama did is circumstantial. What they did, you know what I'm saying, it's circumstantial. Because, but like dude that the limo driver, he had to come and plead the field because I drove her across state line. I committed that crime.
And he didn't want to get charged.
Kelly wasn't in the car. And that's the type of stuff I'm saying, where it's clear and present crime committed by somebody else. Mm-hmm. And just like I said, you give him a pass, even though you know he committed it, you give him a pass because you want to get this guy because you know he was in charge. Like
exactly.
That's
and that's just something I'm not gonna do
exactly. Like I said, I had a problem with that from the start until Mr. Kelly decided he want to play Mr. Untouchable and say fuck y'all. I'm gonna come right up out of court after I beat this case and do it again. Then just like I told you, they gonna get his ass. When he did that, I told you, I said, if they, I say now, I done seen the tapes of the girl on the courthouse steps. I done, seen it in his company. Like if they can tie that in, he washed. I told you, if they can tie, and prove he had sexual relations, she was in his house. Just like we talking about with the other girl. She describing his bedroom and describing, the little vibrator he got over there in the drawer. And them people know, she been too far into your world, bro.
Exactly.
She been too far into your world. Exactly. And then, like I said, that is the end result. Like, I wish everybody would get charged. But that's circumstantial that mom knew what was going on. Unless mom was in the room, unless we can put mom in the room, then we can't say mom knew what was going on for sure. But I believe she did.
Right. But if you're going to give 40 or 50 people that work for Kelly a fucking deal, here's what you should do to Kelly. Give him a fucking deal too.
He ain't taking it up. Like, think about it. No,
he ain't gonna do one day.
I'm saying, think about it. As soon as they found my tapes, I would have been saying, "Hey man, can we make a deal? I need help." That's just like back in the day when we used to get caught with crack. Like, man, I got a problem. I smoke. Can I go to rehab? Like, I'm saying, like, you got to at least be smart enough to play the game. But now,
you're right.
I'm innocent. Like, I'm saying they got your whole team. Just like I told you what I told you. I said I would have stood up in court, give me my best suit. I would have came to court the first day and say, "All you motherfuckers some bark because y'all was down with me. I fed y'all family. I took care of all y'all, and this how y'all would pay me. Like, fuck all y'all." Then I'd have said, "Judge, I'm pleading guilty, and I want to throw myself." Like, I'm not finna fight that. I can't fight that, man.
Yeah.
But think about it. I'm Mr. Untouchable. I'm the Pied Piper. They not gonna lock me up.
Exactly.
They love me. They not gonna lock me up.
Shit.
Hey,
that's that Nino Brown shit and stuff.
Exactly. Yes, but Nino knew when to go out though. Nino said, "Look, I ain't going out like this. It was him. What was
that actor name told me that went out and they pumped damn near 1 million bullets in his ass in the streets, and he was saying something about I'm King Kong or something. Was it the actor?
Hey, I'm telling you though, but I'm just saying that's how he did it though.
Somebody know his name.
That's how he did it though. He did it like, man, y'all can't fuck with me. I'm untouchable. Like, yeah, he did that. And like I said, like
when he walked out that courtroom, when he got
I'm telling you,
I'm untouchable.
I'm a bad man and not ashamed of. Hey man, That's what he said. You're a bad man.
He's a bad man.
You're a bad man.
Not ashamed of it. He said his truth's been good to him. He said the truth taught him good.
Hey, he said, I believe the day will come when my heart will decide to change. But until then, everything will remain the same. That's what he said.
Get naked. Get naked and get that shit.
Go get a cup. Nah, never quit playing like that. No, that ain't, man. But just like I said, he thought he was untouchable. And that's why I say, that's why they made an example out of him. That's why that's why they went so hard. And just like I said, I don't agree with it, but that's what happened when you bring down that wrath of the system on you, man.
But so let me ask you this before we go, nephew.
Like you said, that's the world. Like you said, that is the world he created.
Nobody
for itself. Exactly.
So did they say, or did she say, how long the shit had to stay on the face?
They didn't even say. I'm saying, like, I don't even want to just be graphic, but I'm talking about like just the accusations of he put semen on my face and made me just leave it on there till it dry. Like, what the significance? That's what I'm saying. I don't know where these women head was, because I couldn't imagine me as a man just, you know what I'm saying? And then, like she said, he's had me sit there with it on my face till I dry. One of his associates came in, a female, and they was laughing at me, and I'm just sitting there feeling, you know, messed up because they laughing. Like, look at her sitting there with that shit on her. Like, that's got to be the most degrading shit in the world, huh?
Yeah, it is.
That is the most degrading shit in the world. Like, I couldn't imagine. You know what I'm saying? And that's why it run me hot. I swear, I couldn't imagine that.
And you know what? I said this other night. If it was me and it happened, I wouldn't tell that shit. If y'all can't get him off what the other shit I told you, I'm not gonna do it. I'm just not gonna say I had a shitty face and a shitty mouth. I'm just not gonna do
it. Exactly. And think about it. Just like I said, when this sucker, what's that? I can't think of this sucker name. It make me mad every time I think about this sucker. That they came out with the Me Too movement, talking about the man grabbed his private parts. The big stocky deodorant dude. I can't think of that dude's name, man.
Old Spice?
Yeah, that actor dude, the old funny dude. That's just like when he came out years later. Somebody grabbed him while he was at a event with his wife. Some white man grabbed his private parts. Like, even that, like I said, I couldn't even tell. If I didn't say nothing then or do nothing about it then, do you think I could come out later and say, well, I was at an event in Terry Crews. A man grabbed my private part, and it's like, come on, man. Like I'm like, so that's him as a man. Like I wouldn't have felt comfortable doing that, let alone getting on the stand telling somebody this man made me spread feces on my face and put it like that's like I said. That has to be the ultimate lie. That has to be the ultimate lie. If she told that, exactly. And just like I said, I believe that, because that was degrading to sit in front of somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just like the pee and be like, I couldn't say, man, somebody peed on me. Like, I don't know, man. Like I said, I can't fathom it. I can't. So like I said, I don't know.
Right. Even the child, if she was 13 or 14, each child needs to have a mental evaluation, because a child or adult, you just lay there, something here ain't right. Something here just ain't right. You're just gonna lay there and I don't give a damn if it's R.Kelly. Some shit you just shouldn't do. So you got to have yourself evaluated. I looked at one of his pictures today, trying to figure out which one to put out, and I looked at it for about 5 minutes, and I did that because I'm trying to see in him the shit they say he do. And the longer I looked, I'm like, well, it's really not hard to see.
It's not.
It's really not. It's not.
Man, like I said, I listen to the music, and I pointed out things in the music. You know what I'm saying, on several different songs. I do it all the time and point it out like that didn't sound right, or you know what I'm saying, that didn't sound right there. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it's all through his music, man. It's all through his music. You have to just listen. Yeah, that's all you have to do, listen. And just like I said, we go back to the Pied Piper thing. Like, if I was doing what he was doing at the time, like they said, somebody else named him that, I'd have said, hey man, don't call me that. You trying to expose me. Don't call me that. Like, don't call me the Pied Piper, man, because like I'm doing some stuff right now. I don't even need that kind of title because it's like, nah, like you were just doing too much, man.
That's gonna bring that heat. He don't want that shit.
I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't want to be called that, man, when I'm sneaking with the little kids and I'm stealing away all the little kids. Like, I don't want you to call me the person that's stealing away all the little kids. You exposing my cover. You blowing my cover. But like he embraced it. He embraced it all, man. He stood proud when he went to court. Knowing that they got a tape because I paid her not to say that's not her on the tape. So I ain't worried about it. Like I'm saying, come on. Like we knew that we could say what we want to say, but all of us knew that was that little girl, man. We knew that was that little girl on that tape, man.
But exactly, and Sparkle shouldn't get a damn pass either. Shit.
They out of there though. Like I said though, you know what I'm saying? They'll get it together.
Okay. People, let me say this to you. We appreciate you all. I apologize. I think I did something wrong in the controls. I can't see no damn comments anymore, so we'll work on that tonight or sometime tomorrow. But as always, we appreciate you all tuning in to the live broadcast. What's tonight? Friday?
Thursday, I think.
Thursday. Okay. We'll be at the Lord willing. We'll be back tomorrow at 7:00. So until then, remember, I'm not always right, and you are not always wrong, and I love you big time. Nephew is on you.
We boycotting Kelly, man. He down bad for that.
That's it.
We boycotting. I've been, you know what I'm saying, having people tell me about boycotting Kelly, and they just convinced me. He just convinced me with all this stuff he got going on, man. Real black men stand up. Real black men stand up. We not supporting, you know what I'm saying, no more fake men, pedophile, none of that. We're not supporting it no more. Real black men stand up. Thank y'all for joining us.
Exactly. All right, y'all have a good night. We love you. We'll see you all tomorrow.